There's a lot of guys that's doing work. Obviously, it's a process. Everybody's getting good reps. Ernest Brown looking good. Bobby Brown looking good. Kobe's having his flashes. Cope. All them guys are doing good. In a good rotation right now, and just trying to get a feel, playing with each other. Obviously, they're doing some good things, some things we need to work on, but it's camp is a process. So.
Can you tell us about Ernest Brown's development? He's got a real quiet demeanor, but he seems like he's gotten bigger. Maybe he's getting more time with you.
Yeah, it's about the reps. Obviously, he stepped in and got some starting time last year. So for me to be out here with him and get to work with him, in the first team reps and getting some plays with him, he's doing good, getting better. Obviously, we ain't where we want to be yet as a defensive line, but I see progress. I see us getting better every day, and that's what it's about. So.
Aaron, what have you kind of learned about your process in terms of training camp and how much effort to exert, rest days, and all that in terms of getting?
Well, when you out here, you go. Obviously, you got to listen to your body at times, and you go 100 miles per hour, but you got to listen to yourself at times and kind of throttle back a little bit, let your body get some time to rest. But when I'm out here, I'm going, and doing everything I need to do to get myself ready, prepared. At the same time, trying to show the young guys how it's done so they can follow along and get themselves going as well. So I'm trying to lead by example, at the same time get myself going and get to where I need to be come week one. So.
And has that process evolved for you? I mean, has it changed over the years?
Well, you get a little older, so you got to take care of your body a little different now. So obviously it's go, go, go. It was always that, but as you get older, you got, like I said, you got to listen to your body. You might have a little ache and pain here. You want to don't try to push through everything. You got to let your body get time to rest because you don't want it to come and linger through a season. So.
Coach McVay said at the end of practice, he said, I need you out there. How important is that kind of leadership role for you in terms of development, and especially with all these young guys on the road?
Obviously just giving guys looks. Obviously, I need the reps too. So just trying to do my part, just trying to get guys better, get myself better, working. That's what I'm here for. Not to just push myself, but to push others. So.
I wanted to ask about Rob Havenstein and him kind of taking a leadership role on the team, coming in with the prominent guys like yourself. And just what he brings to the group, not just the offensive lineman, but the team as a whole.
Well, he's a leader. He's one of the older guys now. I remember him coming in as a rookie, but what is it, year 8 for him now? Yeah. So, he got to, at times, I know he ain't the most vocal guy, but got to speak up. That's what it's about, being a leader. At times, you need to let your voice be heard. He's having a great camp so far. He's doing good, leading the offensive line, but at the same time, he need to be a voice for not just the offensive line, but for the offense, and he's doing a great job of doing that. And it's a process, but right now, guys, is working. We're trying to, get ourselves going. So.
Is there such a thing, Aaron, as maybe not for a rookie trying to make the team and stuff, but too many reps? I mean, I know you want to learn from every rep you get, even this long into your career, but is there a point where there's too much before a season starts?
I don't think it's too much, but again, you want to be able to work, but at the same time, like I said, just listen to your body at times, because if you got something that's lingering, you don't want it to go into the season to the point where you got to worry about rehabbing something to the point. You just want to be able to just go out there, be 100% healthy come week one and just play. So.
Aaron, what do you feel?
Couple more, guys.
What do you feel or notice when you have Byron Young rushing alongside you?
Obviously, you do some good things and some things we need to work on. That's what anybody out here, obviously, they had them flashes. You'd be like, that's what they're here for. And at times, you'd be like, he's a rookie, So it's a process still got some work to do. But again, that's what camp is for, to continue to get better, continue to push guys. And got a lot of time before week one, but we just got to keep getting better. So.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
preseason. How are you going to approach that this year with playing time?
It's going to be very different than what you guys are accustomed to. We haven't decided exactly, but there's going to be, we've got to get guys ready to go. There's a lot of players on this team that haven't had an opportunity to even really suit up, play real tackle football that we're going to be counting on against Seattle, and so it's going to be a very different approach. Now the Matthews and the Aarons, you're not going to see them, but we're still kind of working through that. But it will be very different than kind of what we've been accustomed to. And really, even in 2017 when we got here, we did play guys in those first couple preseason games and just a series in the third one. And so that really kind of started from 18 on. And I think this is a lot closer to 2017 where we're kind of learning a lot about these guys. But the guys that have been big contributors, that have played a lot of snaps, we'll tilt towards them, being smart with them. But for the most part, there's going to be a lot of guys that are playing and very few guys that won't.
Frustration from Tuesday's practice. Now at the end of this week, where do you think you guys stand and how do you think you guys do?
What I appreciate about this group is they're getting better. Like we've talked about, we're a really young group. We're doing a lot of different situational football. What I like is that when we're stringing together a lot of long drives and guys naturally get tired, we're trying to simulate, all right, how can we keep our focus and concentration? And I thought there were some lapses, but then I thought they did a good job of being able to finish. I thought there was a lot of good plays on both sides of the football. The tape is always a better reflection after you go back and look at it, but there are some things that you can't see on the tape in terms of the operation in and out of the huddle that I still think we can clean up those types of things. We've got some young guys that are doing things for the first time, and so certainly there's going to be some patience, but they want to learn, and I just want to see our guys not make the same mistakes twice, and that's what I've seen. And the one thing that you guys, I think you can all agree with, is that there's an energy, there's an effort. We can continue to correct those things, but we want to be able to start seeing those things minimize. And I was pleased with today, and there's always going to be things that we can clean up. Otherwise, there'd be no need for us.
Sean, understanding you're not going to play star players like Matthew, how do you gauge the risk-reward with some of those guys that have played a lot, like may play in the preseason, and the fact that they could be injured?
I think it's a case-by-case thing, Gary. I mean, if a guy has played a lot of snaps and it's somebody that's been in big-time games, then, we don't have a whole lot of those guys right now, but we do have a handful of them. And those guys, I think you'll be smart with them. But I do think there's something to be said, Gary, for even just getting your pads on, going through a warm-up, having some of those, good pregame jitters where you're playing real NFL football and there's actually fans in the stands and you can play tackle and do some of the things that we don't always simulate in practice settings just because we want to try to minimize the risk for injuries. And a lot of that will also be predicated on what do we feel like we get out of those practices as it relates to against the Raiders and against the Broncos. We talked with the staff a couple days ago about kind of what the preliminary plans might be for the Chargers, but we're still evaluating that as we get through this block and wrap up our time here at Irvine.
Sean, I didn't see Robert Rochelle out there. What's his status right now?
Reggie came to me, he said his ankle was bothering him a little bit, so he kind of ended up, just kind of not being able to finish up. I think his ankle was bothering him is what Reggie had communicated to me.
And with that, it looked like Trey Tomlinson was able to get some more opportunities because of that. What did you see from him?
He's a competitive guy. I thought he made a really nice play from kind of an off technique on a slant route to the short field. What I like about him is he just continues to compete. He's not afraid to come up and challenge guys, and Aubrey does such a great job with that group as a whole, as well as Mike Harris and Chris Beek. But he's moved around a little bit. But I thought you felt his presence today, and he's definitely a competitive guy that doesn't back down from a challenge.
You guys have a couple of instances of players who moved around actually by necessity. Last year, Michael Hoyt being one of them when you ran out of outside linebackers, and then this year in the spring, Logan Bruss out to right tackle when there were limited tackles present.
Right.
What can you learn from things like that agility that's required, not just of you guys planners, but the players themselves?
Well, I think you learn about, their ability to be able to learn multiple spots. I think you get a better chance to see, all right, where are their best natural fits. And I thought Hoyt had done a really good job as an interior player, and he was one of their few interior defensive linemen that could go be a core special teams player. I think he, is probably a little bit more comfortable at outside backer. I think he's done a nice job. And, Logan had played, Jake Temme, I got to give him some credit. He had played 17% of his snaps at guard at Wisconsin, but 83% of them at tackle, and he looks more comfortable out there. I think that's probably where he'll stay for now. He can always potentially bump inside, but you could see. I think it was important for him, by necessity, like you mentioned, Jordan, but also coming off the injury, I think it was important to be able to stack some good days, and he's got a good look in his eye. I think he's really comfortable outside at that tackle position. Does that mean he'll never play guard again? We might be forced into adjusting that, but I think right now being able to kind of keep him at tackle and continue to figure out what's going to be that best combination. There's a lot of competition still, a lot of things that we're trying to really be able to figure out, and that's why we've got to be able to take that approach, and whether it be with the preseason or in some of these practice settings. But it's been fun to be able to see guys have the ability to move around, whether it be by necessity or because we feel like it's the best spot for them.
What is Cooper's status, and where was Raheem today?
Raheem decided to retire. So no, Raheem and Jimmy Lake got a chance to go. They were obviously huge parts of Rondé Barber's career, and what a special accomplishment. Really happy for all 9 of those guys. That's such an incredible thing, and being just such a fan of the game. But they got a chance to go out to Canton. They'll be back tomorrow. They'll fly back, but they were there for the Gold Jacket dinner, and then they were there for the presentation today. So that's really cool. Rondé Barber's a really special player, and so that's where he was. And then Cooper, it's really day to day. He just felt a little tweak. It was a red zone route. Just felt a little tightness in his hamstring. I don't think it's anything to be overly concerned with, but want to be able to be smart with him. And I'm hopeful to get him back out here sooner than later. But he knows his body so well, and he's got a specific plan. And you guys see him; he's out here moving around. As far as exactly when he's back, I'm definitely hopeful that by the time we at least have our competitive practices against the Raiders, he's able to get that kind of work, because I think that is important. Don't want to rush it, but I think it's kind of more of a day-to-day thing. It's not something that we expect to drag on, but you never know with the soft tissue stuff.
Circling back to the O-line, I wanted to ask about Rob and maybe how he's eased some of the pressure on your staff with all the injuries last year, a lot of turnover this year. Having that solid piece, the veteran guy now, just how he interacts with you guys, maybe as sort of a liaison or takes the pressure off, working for young guys, whatever it may be.
Yeah, he's got such great natural leadership traits. I think he got a chance to witness the way that Andrew did it, and I think they're 2 great leaders. Andrew's obviously such a special player, and Rob is a great leader in his own way. And so I think you've seen Rob naturally step into a leadership role that's comfortable for the way that he moves. He's got a great way about challenging guys, and I think it's really easy because he ends up, doing the exact same things. He's not asking guys to do things that he's not doing. He's so smart and cerebral, conscientious as hell. I love Rob Havenstein. He's been here from the very beginning, and you see, you talk about a throwback right there. Rob Havenstein, we had him at guard because he was so lean, getting ready for his wedding when we first got here in 2017. But he's done a great job. He's one of those guys. He'll be a captain again. Be shocked if his teammates don't vote him as a captain just because of the respect that he's earned. And I think the key thing is the respect that he's earned based on what he's done and the way he carries himself day in and day out. And he certainly does take a lot of pressure off the coaches, and he's in essence an extension of us.
So you've been talking a lot about the young guys and everything.
Yep.
So in terms of their energy, especially compared to previous camps, you have way more. How has that affected really the chemistry of the team and really just the atmosphere of this training camp so far?
Well, I think it's great. It's very different. I don't want to say that there wasn't energy on the other group, but you got a lot of youthful energy, and there's a lot of excitement because there's a lot of competition. There was maybe a little bit more of an understanding, or you guys could take an estimate on who are going to be the projected 22 starters, and so I think that makes these practices mean I don't want to say mean more, but there's guys that are legitimately having opportunities to be evaluated on a day-to-day basis, and there's a lot of fluidity as it relates to that. So the youth, and then based on that youth too, we have the ability to do a little bit more practice. Reggie's such a Reggie won't even let us take a couple snaps without doing some of the sports performance. So it does enable us to be able to get some more work in, which is always fun. And so I've really enjoyed this group. We're having fun out here, and there's still those moments that you want them to do better, but they do too. And so that's what makes it all the worthwhile. Okay, thanks guys. All right.
know if it's still going. Okay. You good? Are you okay? Okay, good.
Matthew, Aaron's the last couple days has had his trademark blow plays up. How do you handle knowing a certain percentage of plays in practice he's just going to completely ruin?
Yeah, I mean, you just got to move on. You know, you try to account for him on every single play. 1 or 2 linemen, maybe a back there chipping his way out, whatever it is. He's a special player. He's a legendary player for a reason. He's going to have his plays, especially in this, in this format. But he's done a heck of a job playing against us. I thought our guys, obviously are always trying to battle him. We're trying to give him a bunch of different looks, but he's no doubt going to have his plays.
Matthew, when you're mic'd up, we heard you tell your wideouts not only to trust themselves, but also that you give your 100% press into them. Can you tell us a little bit, especially with the team with tons of new talent, how you build that trust with them and how you kind of want to do that?
Yeah, I think it's earned. I think those guys come out every single day. They put great effort in. It's not always perfect from them or from me, whatever it is. That's football. But they're always doing everything they can to try and, make strides, learn from whatever past mistake or failure we've had and go forward. So I just always want to encourage those guys while I push them. And we're going to, for us to be as good as we can be, we're going to need as many good guys as we can have. And I trust all those guys to go out there and make plays when we give them the opportunity.
When, the last time you played during the preseason, and how important or unimportant is it for you as a quarterback to play in those games?
I don't remember the last time I played. You guys would probably find that easier than I can. I don't know. I just know that whenever I'm asked to play, I'm going to go play. Whenever I'm not, I'm not, and I understand that. I think as a competitor, you always want to play, but at the same time, I totally understand, the choice not to. Especially with the experience, the amount of experiences I've had in this league, I feel like I can get myself ready to play without doing that. And with the the addition of all the joint practices that teams are doing, you really get some great work in there while being able to keep it in somewhat of a safe environment.
Matthew, obviously this time of year in the helmet is kind of a bit more of an open channel maybe. Mike Whitflorson's really active on the walkie. What is it like hearing him? How is his demeanor? What does he sound like?
It's good. I think I'm getting plays in from both those guys. Both Sean and him. I think it's a constantly communicating with each other is the best thing for us. Whether that's right after a play, we're talking about what we saw, what we did, or just me getting intake from those guys. But both those guys obviously know the offense really well, and I'm just the robot on the other end that spits out whatever they say to me.
Yeah, but that being more of an open chant, like with both of those guys in your ear, and then having those conversations, does that build chemistry rapport with him being sort of relatively?
Yeah, definitely. I think it just kind of helps you as a quarterback. I think one of the main things is when we call a play, it's like, what's the purpose? What are we trying to achieve on that play? Not that is what I'm getting in my ear, but you just little things here and there that you sit there and go, you're understanding why we're calling what we're calling situationally or personnel-wise on what they have on defense versus what we have on offense, all those kind of things, and it's always good.
How much growth have you seen out of Tutu Atwell, especially from his rookie season all the way till now?
Yeah, he's doing a great job. His the best thing that he's doing now, is just his mastery of the offense. He knows exactly where he fits in at all 3 positions at receiver, which is tough to do, and he's done a really good job of it. We're asking him to do a lot of different things and play some different spots, and he's not flinching at all. All the physical tools have always been there, and I think he's doing a great job of making plays when he's getting the opportunities. And it's been fun to work with.
Your observations on the line play thus far?
Yeah, I think it's been good. We're doing some different things. We're putting guys in different spots. We're competing at all levels. Across the board on spots on the line. So it gives those guys great opportunity to learn how to play next to certain guys and communicate down the line. You got to force communication when you got new guys in new spots. So it's fun to be a part of it. They got great energy, great effort, and we move the ball nicely in the run game, which is good.
Couple more guys, more confident now that he's got a little bit more experience. How's his camp been in your eyes?
It's been good. I think both catching the ball out of the backfield, he's made some big plays. I know you guys have seen those, and then when we've handed it to him, he's getting the ball to the right spot. And this offense is predicated on giving backs reads that if we can get it to the right spot, we should be able to get positive yards. And he's done a nice job of doing that.
You touched on the line play briefly, but with Rob in particular, how big has it been with all the injuries last year, all the turnover this year? Having a guy, I think he missed like 2-3 snaps last season. How much functionality, I guess, does he add to your offense?
He's great. He's a veteran leader up there. He knows what he's doing. He knows how to communicate at a high level. He's obviously physically really talented. I think he's in great shape right now. He looks really good, and he's been playing at a high level. And I know that the guys in that room can always look to him for, what it's supposed to look like. He's doing a great job.
Last year, you're going into your 15th year. You've had thousands of snaps, I'm guessing, in training camp. But it seems even in the competitive periods, it's near the end or whatever, if you make a play, you're excited. If you don't make the play, you're kind of,
pissed.
Yeah. I mean, after all these years, how do you keep, why is it still so intense?
I don't know. I love playing. I love getting on the grass and being healthy is something I don't take for granted. And I feel good, and I'm able to go out there and operate at a high level, so that's fun for me. And get out there and compete with these guys. 15 training camps tough. There's some meetings that are tough that I'm sitting there going, man, I've heard this 9 million times. But when we get the pads on and get out here, these are the best 2-3 hours of my day every single day. So I enjoy it. I enjoy competing with these guys, and being around all these young guys has been fun. They got a bunch of good energy. They're excited to be on an NFL practice field, trying to learn as much as they can, and I'm trying to help them out.
All set?
Cool. Appreciate it.
Thank you.